Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and today I have a card featuring the Simon Says Stamp 2014 card kit. I have used only the elements from the card kit, the cardstock and the stamp set, and then the tools of the My Favorite Things Blueprints 15 die collection and some pigment inks, as well as a couple of colors of embossing powder. To start my card, I wanted a kind of misshapen rectangle. I love this kind of uneven shape from the Blueprints 15 die collection. And I'm going to be stamping on this I die cut it from the craft cardstock in the card kit. I'm laying it on this scrap piece of paper so you can kind of see the shape of the rectangle and what it will look like. And then I'm simply going to begin stamping the images and building my scene on this piece. I'm using pigment inks for my card today because pigment inks do not absorb into the paper like dye inks do. Where dye inks will kind of fade as the ink dries, pigment inks will sit kind of up on top of the paper and retain their vibrancy. And I really wanted the colors to be bold and vibrant on this craft background. So I'm using the pigment inks from both Avery Elle and Mama Elephant. I used the hazel ink to stamp my shelf there. And I'm going to start building my scene using the individual stamp components from the Simon Says Stamp to Thine Own Self stamp set. The stamp set is included in the September card kit, or you can purchase it individually from Simon Says Stamp. I decided on a rainbow colored type theme for my card. I wanted the colors to be really bold and vibrant, especially on the khaki or craft background here. And I'm simply switching them out quickly. I love that so many of the stamp elements in the stamp set are individual stamps, which makes it really easy to stamp each element in a different color. Continue building my shelf or my wall of knick-knack images here. I'm going to use a little bit of the white ink to stamp the cute little flower pot and then the green for the plant inside. And I think in real life that white shows up really nicely. I really liked how it looked. Now you can see I didn't quite get that box stamped all the way, so I lined it up and re-stamped it. I love that about clear stamps, that it makes it easy to go ahead and fix any little minor mistakes like that. So now that I have that bottom shelf stamped, and I purposely stamped only that shelf first and then built everything that I wanted to sit on that shelf because I wanted to make sure that I left enough room and didn't have to, squish any of the stamping or leave anything out. So I stamped all of those components first, and then I stamped the next shelf and added things to it. And once I had everything on that shelf, then I went ahead and stamped the picture frames and the additional shelf up in the top right. I thought it would be fun to have a couple of the books leaning a little bit and not so perfect. I'm going to lay out a couple of my pieces here. I kind of knew what I wanted to do, but I wanted to make sure there was enough room, so I did lay out some of the rest of the stamps, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp that last shelf now since I know where I want to place the apple and the picture frame. For the apple, I did ink it up in both the cherry and the green ink there from Avery Elle, the celery ink. I just carefully made sure I only inked the apple part with the cherry ink and then the stem and leaf with the celery ink. Go ahead and stamp both of my picture frames using the hazel ink from Mama Elephant. And then I only have that top shelf left. And I'm going to add a couple of books again that are laying down. And I want to add the little clock image. I think those little extra images really complete the whole scene. Where the books are so cute and fun, I really think it rounds it out nicely with the clock and the apple and the little plant. And even the little storage boxes there. And then I'll finish with an additional, or that last stamped book. I have all of my images stamped now. I did decide, I thought that second shelf needed one more book, so I'm going to add that last one there, and I think that rounds it out nicely. Now I've used the stitched rectangle die from that Blueprints 15 die collection from My Favorite Things to die cut the black cardstock, and then I'm using the cream cardstock from the kit for my card base. I stamped the greeting "You're Perfect" in my book using the black Simon Says stamp ink, and then I want to place that true story greeting on the diagonal so it follows the design of the cardstock. So I use my powder anti-cling tool, and I'm going to stamp with Versamark ink right there along that edge. And I didn't attach my craft piece yet because I'm going to use embossing powder and I didn't want any of it sticking to that. And I'm going to carefully apply both the American Crafts Rouge embossing powder and then the Hero Arts white embossing powder to the word true, and then heat set both of those so I have a multicolored embossed greeting. The last thing I need to do is put it all together, and then I decided that I needed some little detail on the book, so I took my favorite white pen from Sakura and I'm just going over those line details on any of the books with this white pen, and I really think it adds to the detail of the card. It makes all of those books pop. So I'm just quickly doing this. Wasn't too concerned about perfection or anything like that. Just wanted to add that detail, and then I added a little detail to the apple as well. I'm going to attach this craft piece to the black stitched rectangle, and then I'll pop the whole thing up with foam adhesive on my cream colored card base, and this card is finished. I hope you've enjoyed this video showcasing the September 2014 Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. For more information, please visit my blog. The products I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Thanks for watching.